Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom in the north, lived a queen named Queen Hadiza. Hadiza became queen after the death of her father, the great King Mustafa. Queen Hadiza was a very wicked and feared queen. Legend has it that the first king of the kingdom, many centuries ago, became king and lived for 1,000 years through the help of a magical elephant tusk with immortality powers. The king was a terrifying and wicked king who used his position as king to terrorize all his subjects. One day, the people stood up for themselves and overpowered the king, taking away his magical tusk. The tusk was then buried in an undisclosed location to prevent anyone from finding and abusing it. It has been said that whoever wields the magical tusk will become the most powerful person in the kingdom and would be crowned king or queen. All the past kings and queens have tried to find the magical tusk during their reign, but none have been successful. Queen Hadiza, just like the other rulers before her, has made up her mind to find this tusk. One day, Queen Hadiza set out to the mountains with her troops in search of the magical tusk, as there have been rumors that the tusk was buried in the mountains. On getting to the mountain, Queen Hadiza and her troops saw a very small hut sitting at the edge of the mountain. They gradually approached the hut and saw a very poor woman called Amina. Amina was all alone in the mountain, and Queen Hadiza, on sighting her, ordered her troops to send Amina away as they began to demolish Amina's small hut in search of this magical tusk. Poor Amina cried her eyes out as the hut they just destroyed belonged to her late parents who died many years ago. What broke Amina's heart was the fact that the troops refused her from securing items in the hut that reminded her of her late parents. Poor Amina was so heartbroken as she slowly wandered into the forest, away from the wicked queen and her angry troops. Queen Hadiza and her troops, caring less about how Amina will survive, searched the whole mountain but found no tusk. Days passed and their search yielded no positive result, so Queen Hadiza and her troops decided to return back to the castle. Every day, Queen Hadiza would send out more troops in batches to search for this tusk, and this went on for years. But still, the magic tusk was nowhere to be found. One fateful day, Queen Hadiza sent for a powerful soothsayer who told her that somebody in the village was in possession of this magical tusk. This made Queen Hadiza so furious as she feared what the person would do with the tusk, especially when history has it on stone that the first king of their kingdom defeated several kings when he got hold of the magic tusk. Immediately, Queen Hadiza summoned her chief guard and ordered him to go from house to house in search of the magical tusk. She also ordered her guard to kill anyone who resisted or obstructed their search. Her chief guard set out on the mission and they began to search from house to house until they got to the house of a man called Adamu. Adamu, on sighting the guards, rushed to lock his door, and as the guards tried to gain access, Adamu obstructed them, and the guards, working on the instruction of the queen, killed Adamu to gain access to his house. Immediately they got in, they saw a little baby sleeping on the bed. They were left in confusion, but they had no option but to overlook this and continue their search. After several minutes, the guards didn't find anything in Adamu's house, so they proceeded to search other houses and left Adamu in the pool of his own blood. Queen Hadiza rained terror on the people in her kingdom as she did not hesitate to take lives in her quest for the magical tusk. This went on for over 20 years till one fateful day. Queen Hadiza was in a castle when she heard some commotion outside. Her guards rushed in to inform her that she had just been summoned. In shock, the queen could not believe her ears. Who dares to summon Queen Hadiza? She stood up in anger and proceeded to the palace door. In shock, she saw a young man, and in his hands was the elephant's tusk. Her eyes shone in fear as she asked him what he wanted. The young man began to speak, saying, "I am Ali, the son of late Adamu, the man who your guards killed over 20 years ago. I was a baby then, and my mother was away in the mountains and left me alone with my father. Your guards killed my father because of your quest for this magical tusk. My mother also told me of how you and your guards tore down my grandparents' house on the mountains in your quest for this same tusk. What you did not know was that my mother, Amina, was in possession of the tusk at the mountain when you chased her away. She handed the tusk to me a few years ago before she died, and I promised her I would set my people free from your wicked grasp. I have now come to take over this kingdom from you, as you are not fit to rule my people." In anger, Ali raised up the magic tusk and commanded the palace guards to apprehend Queen Hadiza. The guards did as they were instructed, as they too could not withstand the wickedness of Queen Hadiza. That was how Queen Hadiza was locked up in the palace dungeon, and the reign of a new king began. All hail King Ali, the kind and compassionate king. The lesson to be learned from this story is that wickedness does not pay. Always try to be kind and compassionate to people in whatever position you find yourself. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps us grow our channel. I'll see you in our next story. Bye.